Hello guys, today I will show you how I set up the actual complete case from Doctora Santa Teresa. Here's the case. The patient is a female. There's the bite wax. The patient wants the shade A2 for her denture. Now, I will be using element Pontic for this case. Here's the element Pontic. This is the upper anterior. This is the lower anterior. Upper posterior. And this is the lower posterior. So I use here shade A2 for the upper posterior, M32. The mold is M32. And also for the lower, M32 also. For the upper, since the patient has a small maxillary, I use the smallest mold, which is A02, and the lower is L2. Okay, because the arch is very small, so we use smaller mold. Okay, so next step is we have to make the base plate. Because this case is for trial, so we make the base plate. We first put the separating medium. So that the wax will not stick on the cast. And the acrylic that we will make as the base will not stick to the cast. For the base plate, I use the mixture of acrylic powder and liquid as the base. I only make the base for the upper. On the lower, I only use wax. Okay. So we'll mix this with the self-curing liquid. Okay, now I pour the mixture. Then just spread out. I think this is too thick, but never mind. Just like that, I just do like this. I only put this area on the palate area only. I do not put the acrylic on the anterior area. Only here. Okay, so let's wait until the mixture gets hard. For the lower, I only use this wax, hard wax, for the base. Just like that. Okay. peel this one, burn, hit the edges. Put some wax here. I like Element Pontic because it has really a nice anatomy, and it's really the translucency is really nice, and the vitality of the Pontic. That's why I prefer Element Pontic. It looks natural. Okay, so we put wax over here. Now, I have to mark the centric. So the centric is over here. Okay. I have to fill this area with wax. I have to speak in English because majority of my viewers are from United Kingdom and USA. So I have to speak English so they can understand what I am talking about. Anyway, Filipinos can understand English anyway. So no problem. So we fill this up with wax. Okay, so we articulated the case using the bite wax, and we already put the base plate. I use this acrylic because it will be stable during the try-in. And now the next step is we have to establish the vertical dimension, which is very critical for the complete dentures. Since we did not go through occlusal rim, I have to use my intuitions, my knowledge, my experience for the past 30 years on getting the vertical dimension. In getting the vertical, I use my thumb. I put here my thumb, and this will be the vertical height. Okay, so we adjust the screw here like that, and put here. Okay, so this is now the vertical height. See? Okay, now we determine the midline. Midline is very critical also for the complete denture. But since we did not go through OCR, I will use this frenum as the midline. Okay, so I first set the lower teeth. The first that I have to set will be the central lower, the two central of the lower. Okay. Okay, so the two centrals are already on the midline. Next is I have to set the lateral. Next, the cuspid. Okay, just go on. Set all the posterior. Okay, so the posterior should be set over the ridge. So this is the ridge. See this? So here, it is set over the ridge. Okay, so here's the lower has been set. Take note and remember to always maintain the curve of P for the lower. No, the setup should be going up like this, going up. It's not going down. Okay, it's going up like this. Okay, now let's start setting the upper. Okay, this is how I do my setup. Maybe you have your own way of setting, but this is my own way of setting up the complete denture. I always set up the lower first and then followed by the upper. Okay, now we put some wax here. Now we have to set the two centrals first on the upper. Remember that since you only estimated the vertical height of the patient, when you set the lower and when you set the lower and you will set the upper, take note that the cervical of the pontic, this is the cervical of the pontic, should slightly touch the ridge of the upper arch. Okay, only slight. Okay, so it is, see, it is almost touching the ridge of the upper arch. Okay, now you have to decide what kind of setup you will do. If you want to be a little slightly butterfly or maybe Bugs Bunny, it depends on you, and you have to imagine the face of the patient if the setup that you are doing would look good to the patient. Okay, but for me, I always play safe. I just set up the two central a little bit forward, like Bugs Bunny, like that. Because butterfly setup is not always it's not always good to everybody, you know. There are patients that butterfly looks good, but some no. Okay, so just continue setting up the central. Now we start setting up the posterior. You have to observe also the intercuspation. See? Look at this. See? Should be like that. Okay, so let's proceed to the other side. Okay. So just like that. Just like that. Okay. The occlusion should occlude. Upper should occlude with the lower. For complete denture, anteriors are really very critical. So the beauty of the patient should always be seen on how you arrange the anterior teeth. So what I always do with my setups, I always look at this. The central is always a little bit forward, protruded a little bit, and the lateral is depressed a little bit, and the central, the cuspid is a little bit protruded also. Okay, look at this. And also on the other side, see, the central is a little bit forward. That's my key in setting up anteriors. Next is, I always make sure that the two centrals are longer than the lateral and the cuspid. See, look at this. See? Now I have to release the screw so I can really find if the occlusion is really tight. Okay? So that's it. So for now, I have to leave this for my technician to do the festoning. Next time, I will show you how I do the festoning. But this time, only set up. I hope that you learned something from my technique. And thank you very much for watching. I hope the patient will be happy for what I did. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And if you have subscribed, you may just like and please share to your friends. Thank you very much. Bye.